Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome into another accessibility overview video. And this video is for Song in the Smoke, a VR survival game from the developers 17-Bit. And segueing off of that, thank you so much to 17-Bit for the key to the game for me to play it and test it and give you guys this accessibility overview. And yeah, let's just get right into it. All right, to start things off, you're seeing them right next to me on one of the sides of the video here, but you were seeing two separate screenshots of the VR settings. And lovely enough, if you scroll all the way to the top or all the way to the bottom, it splits it directly into two halves. And there are some settings right now that are there that are good. And I don't believe they told me that I couldn't say this. But they did say there will be a patch or a hotfix coming to add some more accessibility settings. If that update, or when that update happens, not if it happens, when it happens, I will leave a pinned comment to just say it, and say what's been added. But right now, as you can see from these screenshots, you have, you can choose your dominant hand. So for me, that would be a left-handed. And that pertains mainly to like your, kind of like your default weapon hand, I guess. That's basically it. That's all it really pertains to. It's not left-handed controls, sadly. Or any of that stuff. But hopefully the accessibility settings that they said were going to be coming, that could be one of them that gets added, is the ability to have left-handed controls, which I know there are many others, and I'm one of them, that would very much love the left-handed controls to be in the game. It would be amazing. It does make things feel a lot better. Especially, well, obviously, if you're left-handed. It makes the games feel so much better. But there is one that I do want to point out, and that is the club angle, I think is what it's called. Yes, this, well, because you have your hand, you have your arm like this. And so naturally, if you're holding a club, the club is pointing straight up. Club is pointing straight up when you have your arm like this, or a hand like this. But with the club angle setting, and it's like a little bar, and you can just move it to the left or right. The further to, like, let's say the left that you put it, the lower it puts the top part of the club. So, and the reason that this is like a good setting, and I am very happy that it's in the game, is that you, let's say, because when I do the testing for these games, I purposely leave my arms on the armrest, and to test for mobility. You know, because, yeah, I can wave my arms around like crazy. Not everybody can. So that's got to be looked into. And something like this setting will make it so you have your arms on your armrest, right? And maybe you can't really move your arms too much, but you can move your wrists. And I say this, I think, in almost all my videos. But the club is pointing straight up, and maybe you can't do that. Like, because you can run straight up to something in this game and melee the crap out of it if you can get close. Because, like most VR games, you don't really have a body for, you don't really have a body that's going to impact with something and stop you. Or the way they have it designed, it doesn't. So you turn down the club angle, you take it to the left. The tip of the club, the part that actually is supposed to hit things, will go from up here to like down this way. So where my fingers are is like the tip of the club, is the tippy top of it. So you can have like just a little movement and it would almost make it seem like it's a full swing. That's good. Like that is a good thing. I did test it and it let me beat the crap out of animals. In game. In the game. And you need to survive and eat them. But yeah. It works. It works out very well. So let's continue on to the gameplay now that we're through the settings. Okay, you guys are seeing some gameplay now, just me doing the beginning a little bit, and then some just me going around and exploring, and I think even chasing an animal. But yes, this game, I so badly want to say that this game is accessible no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter the amount of range and mobility that you have with your arms. You can play it because you can tilt, the club and all that. I want to say it. I do, but I can't. I cannot say that. And the reason being, and I don't think I messed with it in any of the recording, is the bow. You need the bow. Yes, you can go up and melee things, and I'm sure you could play a lot of the game just by running up and meleeing something. But when you melee it, it runs. When you melee the animal, it runs away. And I will be frank, I think most of this recording is me chasing it. Or most of what you're probably seeing right now is just me chasing an animal. They hardly stop. You need the bow and arrow. And I tried multiple ways to use the bow and arrow without ever taking my arms off of the armrests, with making just as little movement as I could. And no. Like, as far as I'm concerned, no. Like, if you could get through this whole game just meleeing, then maybe. Actually, yeah, I'd probably say yeah. Because the game, when you go to pick something up, if your hand points at it, it does a little bit kind of like its own take on like the laser pointer thing that some games have. And then once it's pointing at something, all you do is like hold grip, and then boom, it goes to your hand. And even inventory, you just gotta, once you're holding something, hit the trigger, the main trigger on the left or right controller, whichever one, and boom, it goes into your inventory. and then you hit the Y button on your controller, that opens your inventory and all that stuff, and you select things with the like laser pointer type dealy, and then you can angle the club and do all that stuff, and that's all fine and good, but you're not going to be able to use that bow and arrow. Like it kind of is doable, but not enough to where I'm going to recommend it. And I know a lot of people will probably look forward to this game, and maybe we're waiting for me to give notes on it or do a video on it, but yeah, no. If that bow and arrow wasn't as vital as it is, I would probably recommend the game. I'm not going to, though, because that bow and arrow is needed. You're gonna have to be able to shoot things with that bow and arrow. You're gonna need to have full extension on that bow and arrow, and to be able to make those arrows go far, to hit their targets. You can't do that with low range, medium mobility, I would say. Like, you can move your arms, a bit off of, you can move your arms off of the armrest. You can extend them pretty well. Okay, or at least one of, like, put them close together, put your arms close together, grab, and then, like, you can extend one of them to, draw the arrow back. Okay, maybe, but if you can't, no, I do not recommend it. And I know that's a bummer. I don't like always doing videos where I can't recommend the game, but yeah, dude, I mean, yeah, if you're like me and you can just fling your arms about, but you're in a wheelchair, play this game. Nothing's stopping you. Like, if you got full use of your fingers, your fingies, your thumbs, all that stuff, which, I mean, if you're playing VR, you most likely do. Yeah, don't. Now, actually, let me stop myself. If you are playing this PC VR, because this game is on the it's on the Quest. It's on the Quest 2. But it's also cross-buy, which means it can be played on PC VR through the Oculus desktop app. It's still called that right now, so I'm calling it that. Or you could just buy it through there. I do not believe it's on Steam. And so you can play PC VR. And if you're playing PC VR, something that is always linked in my videos now, or down in the descriptions, is a Steam app called Walk-in VR. And that app works with, obviously, Steam VR games, but also Oculus VR games, which this would be one of them. This game more than likely does not support Steam VR, but this app could still be used. So if that is a thing, you play on PC, you don't play on Quest, go give that a download. And that might actually help, because that is what the app is for. The app is there to help with things like mobility and the range of things and just all that stuff. It's meant to help with that. And it even has the ability to have another person outside of VR use the Xbox controller to give you some assistance in certain things should you need it. So go do, Again, if you're playing it through PC or you want to play it through PC, use that. Use that if you have limited to minimal to, if you have minimal to like very low mobility, like you can't move off the armrest or something like that, give that a try. Or you have medium mobility, and so you can somewhat extend, but not much. Give it a go. Give that a go if you really want to play. But if you are on Quest 2 and that Quest 2, and that's how you were playing this, like me, I can't recommend it. As I said, I cannot recommend it if you don't have next to full mobility with your arms. It is just not a thing. And it's just because of the bow and arrow. If you think that maybe, oh, Derek, you're freaking crazy. You can melee everything, and you think you could win the game that way and not have to use the bow and arrow, and you think I'm cuckoo? Hey, then at that point, it's your money. But out of from the things I have tested when it comes to mobility and all that, I myself am not recommending the game unless you're on PC VR, in which case go download Walk-in VR off Steam. It's free, and have that handy. Have some, set it up, have someone help you set it up, do whatever, and maybe that'll make it so that you can play. You never know. I have no idea. I don't know you. You know you. But yeah. Hopefully this helped you guys in making a purchase decision on Song in the Smoke. And yeah. I'm sorry if it was a bummer video and now you're like, oh, I can't get the game, or maybe it's a video where you're like, oh, I can't play the game, sweet, and you want to go get it next time you can. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of it. And if you enjoyed it, do all the YouTubey things, and if you want more of these kind of videos, well, do the other YouTubey things. And until the next video, peace out.